And all you've been doing is just saving, okay? And you'll notice the file name is up here. My file name ended up being vintage zoo part 3.xcf. You've got to have that .xcf at the end. It automatically saves on there for you. So when you upload it to the Dropbox, it will have a .xcf format. And then I will save it and I'll open it up in GIMP, and I'll be able to see all of your layers. And I'll be able to go, okay, I can see how the student went about making this design from the original photographs. So remember, I said that this is important. You have the original, and then you can see how things kind of got built up. And it is so fun to be able to see that. It is just the coolest thing. And then it'll be awesome too if you have the vintage poster that you used for your color palette. I'd love to see that. So in the beginning, when I had you create your new document, you remember how I had you do those larger proportions for a poster size? Well, then I realized it's possible that maybe that's the reason why it was slowing down the computer, because it was so large. And you can go in and you can change your image size. So before you turn it into me, I want you to go into image and scale image, and I want you to change your width for me. So just make sure that this is locked, and then bring that down to somewhere around 600, okay? And then click scale. I've already scaled mine down. Now, an XCF file is just telling me that this can be opened up in the GIMP program and I can see all of the layers, okay? So this is your work. If you want to be able to email this to people, or if you want to be able to post it on Facebook or one of your blogs, what you're going to do, any type of social media, upload it to your phone, whatever, you're going to have to export it out of GIMP. So you're going to click File. Make sure that you resize it first, like I just showed you by going into what? Image, scale image, okay? And then you're going to go File, Export As, okay? So when you save it, you're just saving it as a GIMP file. Now we're going to export it, meaning we're going to make it leave the GIMP program, okay? So I can still call it Vintage Zoo Part 3, or I could call it Vintage Zoo Final Product, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's going to automatically save it as a ping. You can save it as whatever you want, though. You need a file extension at the end. You can type one in, like .jpg would save it as a JPEG. That's how I prefer to save mine. And you can also find other extensions down here. Do you see at the bottom where it says select file type by extension? Click that plus box, okay? It's not in here. That's not it. Okay, it's in here, in this little tiny plus by select file type. Click on that, and then you'll see all these awesome extensions that you can use, like the GIF or GIF. I can't remember how it's pronounced. I never can. Here's all the JPEG extensions, so you could actually find the JPEG image right there. And you're going to click export, and this won't be the last step, so pay attention because this is where it gets really interesting. Then you get a box that pops up, okay? And this is where you can optimize the size of the image. So we already did scale down the image quite a bit, but we could probably scale it down some more. But first we want to see how big the file size is, and right now it says the file size is unknown. But if we click on this show preview box, it's going to calculate what the file size is. Oh, and holy smokes, it is so small. It's only 73 kilobytes. That's incredible. So it's already small enough. I wanted you to have your file size be, under 500 kilobytes, and it is. So let's increase the quality to 100%, okay? Notice that that increased the file size, but hey, you can afford it. It's way under 500 kilobytes. So go ahead and increase that. And you want to have the image available in the background, because if you actually, like, let's say you had 5 megabytes here for your file size, you can start decreasing your quality. And as you do that, you're trying to get down to like 500 kilobytes, right, from 5 megabytes. So as you're getting down there, if you're looking at the image over here, you're going to be able to see that as you decrease the quality of the image and the number of kilobytes goes down, the image is going to start to break up. It hasn't started happening yet, but it's going to. Oh, I just saw some breaking up. I'm going to keep going a little bit at a time and give it a second to recalculate. Boy, this is getting super small. I don't know if you can see this, but it's really looking blurry and granular and pixelated. It's looking bad. Look at that. Oh, it looks terrible, okay? So, I have a lot of students that get really gung-ho, and they're like, I am gonna totally decrease the size of this file for Mrs. Girot. And then it looks like this. And I'm like, oops, we did image. This is not considered image optimization because it doesn't look good. So it needs to be the smallest size that you can get it, and it still looks sharp. Well, I'm not even going to waste my time going smaller than 100% because my file size is plenty small enough, okay? But you get the idea. It needs to look sharp in order to be optimized and still be down around 500 kilobytes or less. So thank you for paying attention to that. And now that you've done that, you're going to click Export. Dun, 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 dun. And now you have a lovely JPEG, and I can go inside of my libraries here, and I can go to my image design class and look here, and guess what I'm going to find? There it is. It's my Vintage Zoo final product as a JPEG. And so now when I double click on that, here's my GIMP file, right? If I double click on that saved file, what's it going to open as? A GIMP file, okay? But now when I open it, ooh, look at that. I can look at it in my preview picture. I can play around using this, and so, yeah. Do you see all those pixels, guys? Yeah, that's what's wrong with what these programs, these are called raster programs, okay? So when you get into doing these types of digital artworks, you get a lot of pixels. If you increase the number of pixels in your canvas size, then you can actually get better quality. So that's all I have for you today. I appreciate your time. Once you get that saved, you can go ahead and upload your .xcf GIMP file to the Dropbox. I do need to see your layer work. I need to see the original photo that you started with. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for when I grade it. And remember that rubric that we went over. So that's the reason why you need to turn in that GIMP file. That JPEG file is for your personal use. If you'd like to share it on the internet, email it, save it, whatever. You should be proud of all that work. Good job. And I look forward to grading these and putting together a lovely critique for our last couple of days before Thanksgiving next week. Adios, guys.